Kame House Party!
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Kame House Party. I am Aaron.
And I am Vince.
And this is the universe's only improv comedy Dragon Ball podcast. We watch along extravaganza. We are going through every episode and iteration of Dragon Ball, one episode at a time. We are talking about what we saw. We're doing improvised scenes based on what we saw. We're having a good, fun time. You're on board now. You get it. And it's time to get to a little something we call Kame housekeeping. We have to make sure that you, the audience, and us, the not audience, are ready for the journey ahead. And the first part of Kame housekeeping is the world famous, UN sanctioned 1 minute roundup. Creaking sound.
Hey, just wanted to peek in, make sure everything was, on track. I don't want to interrupt the.
I'm undressed. What are you doing?
Oh my goodness! I'm so sorry.
I'm hastily covering up my bits.
I just curtains in 5, and I just want to.
No peeking. I see one. Your pinky and ring finger. It's slightly. Hey. Hey.
Look, I'm sorry. I'm a fancy guy, so my pinkies are out.
And scene.
Okay, Lauren, that ought to do it.
It's Vince's new character, fancy guy.
Me, Bo and Yang.
Pinky's out.
Oh, look, you're talking about the new franchise player on SNL is Pinky's Out guy by Vince White.
This is not bad. Yeah, it's just like you're getting mugged. Pinky's out.
Mm-hmm. Look, this is how the song goes. Mm-hmm. You're getting mugged. Pinky's out. You're having a hug. Pinky's out. You're having a drink. Pinky's out.
You stepped on a bug.
Pinky's out.
And it's a close up of the bug with like a bad Photoshop. Boop. Pinky out. But that wasn't just our audition for SNL. That was the first part of the 1 minute roundup, where Vince and I do an improvised scene to loosen or tighten our comedy muscles. And whenever one of us breaks, we move on to the 1 minute roundup proper, which is where one of us, this time Vince, has to summarize, has to not burp in the mic and also summarize everything that has happened in Dragon Ball. Thus far, I am talking 150 episodes-ish of the original Dragon Ball. At this point, 147 episodes of Dragon Ball Z. All these storylines and adventures get summarized for you, the listening audience, so you don't have to go back and watch all of Dragon Ball. You don't have to listen to all of our old episodes, but I know you're out there and you're doing it, and I love you for it. But Vince, you can't start until I ask the pivotal question. Are you ready to round up?
Aaron, yes, I am. And here I go. So, story of Dragon Ball follows Goku as a boy. He grows up to be a man. Along the way, he goes on many adventures searching for the Dragon Balls, keeping them out of the hands of evildoers like the Red Ribbon Army, other evildoers like King Piccolo. He also fights in 3 Tenkaichi tournaments, wins the last one after he grows up and has a glow up, fights Piccolo Jr. To save the world and make a new frenemy. After that, 5 years pass. A Saiyan comes from outer space, informing that Goku is now an alien. Oh, we didn't know that. Go Gohan gets captured. Goku dies fighting his brother Raditz, goes to Otherworld. 2 more Saiyans show up on Earth. Goku has to train in Otherworld to get strong enough to defeat them. He does when he comes back, but at the sacrifice of his friends who died in the process of trying to save the world. He goes to Namek, beats Frieza, the baddest dude in the world, in the universe, blows up the planet, blah, 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 blah. Goku comes back. Future Trunks shows up, and now they're androids that the timeline didn't account for. Goku's awake now, and he's taking Vegeta and the other Saiyans to train. Piccolo and everybody else are about to face off against the androids.
Ooh. Very nice. Very, very lovely. What lovely roundups you've given us.
Oh.
To quote
Me?
Yes, to quote you, Captain Ginyu.
Oh, what lovely roundups. And what lovely round balls. That's what you're all here to hear me say, right?
Yep, that's your catchphrase. That's your SNL franchise character.
And live from New York, it's lovely balls.
Featuring Captain Ginyu. That's really what he wanted.
Oh, absolutely. Ginyu would have loved to switch bodies with any of the cast members of SNL, past, present, and or future. Just so he could drop that line on Lorne.
Mm.
Oh,
It's
you're
like,
supposed to say live from New York, Ginyu. What happened? Sorry, the moment took over. I started thinking about what lovely balls there are in New York City.
Kenan Thompson's just mugging at the camera.
Oh, yeah, Keenan's still there.
Of course.
Kenan Thompson is, oh, man. We don't have time, Aaron, to talk about the national treasure that is Kenan Thompson. Keep Keenan safe at all costs.
We got, yeah, this isn't Keenan housekeeping. This is Kame housekeeping.
Is that our new podcast?
Keenan housekeeping.
Keenan House Party.
I guarantee a Keenan House Party fucking rules.
Yeah, man. He's just
But
walking around giving you the face.
The next part of Kame housekeeping is us letting you folks know that we watched 2 different versions of the episode. I watched the original Japanese language, English subtitled version, and Vince watches the English dubbed version. 0 Japanese in that bad boy. And we do this because it is fun to compare and contrast. Sometimes there are big differences. Sometimes there are little differences. And the first difference is usually the title. And I got a feeling it's still the case today.
Yeah, I can't imagine this one being very similar. But here comes the English title of this week's episode. Episode 148 of Dragon Ball Z. The monster is coming. Hey, yo.
Try that one out, everyone. in your intimate moments.
In the narrator's tone of voice as well.
Yeah. Announce the episode number. My Vince, I don't even think is in mine.
Are you
It's
kidding
not.
me?
There's a the
All
or
right.
the but my episode, the original Japanese language, roughly translated for episode 148 of Dragon Ball Z is the Gekiretsu Kodan that split the heavens. Piccolo versus Artificial Human number 17.
Oh, I love that title. And I love that my cat is making the most noise behind me. I hope you can't hear it.
I don't hear any adorable sounds.
All right. Well, then, yeah, that title rules. Can you say it again one more time?
All right, let me see. The Gekiretsu Kodan that split the heavens. Piccolo versus Artificial Human number 17.
So the Gekiretsu Code.
Mhm.
I'm going back to my studies of Japanese. If I sound that out, Gekiretsu no Kodan or something like that. Something close to that.
I think so.
And I wonder what that means because I'm not going to look it up. That's something we don't do on this podcast is
No.
research.
Ew.
Ew.
Gross.
We remain blissfully unaware and blissfully comedic about this show.
Willfully funny about this.
And I cannot wait to talk about the rest of this episode, Aaron, because it starts off with a banger of a narrator intro in mine. I skip to my favorite line of the intro, which is, "Is Trunks tough enough to survive being locked in a room with Vegeta?"
Ooh.
Because I'm not. I know I'm not.
Who is?
There ain't a person on Earth who's tough enough to stay locked in a room with Vegeta.
He's got you for 1 year. 1 year of playtime.
Do you think Dwayne The Rock Johnson could survive the time chamber? He's got his own like weighted room of power where he gets stronger. The Iron Palace that he takes to every movie set and every hotel he goes to.
The Iron go on.
You don't
Say
know
more.
this about Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
I know the man eats so much cod
That it might
for,
be his
for
duty.
protein. Mm-hmm. That's it.
So he's got
what?
Yeah, the Iron Palace, I believe it is. And this came to light during like the whole Fast and Furious Rock versus Vin Diesel kind of versus Tyrese. Tyrese was like chiming in on the outside. But yeah, apparently wherever The Rock goes for production or shooting, he takes the Iron Palace with him, which is a portable, it's not a portable gym. It's a gym that he has made portable and takes it to every shoot, every set, everywhere he goes and travels. He takes that with him so he can get a workout in. Yeah. So I equate that to a portable time chamber in which he can get stronger, but he doesn't have the time dilation aspect of it. So I don't know. I think Dwayne The Rock Johnson would be like, "Oh yeah, brother, let me get in there. Get in that time chamber with you, Vegeta. You think you're hot stuff? Well, you haven't met The Rock Johnson."
He could ask Vegeta if he smells what he's cooking. Cod. He's cooking a lot of fish.
But yeah, I don't know. Were there any highlights in your narrator's verbiage at the beginning of this episode?
Nothing that I remember. I was just very excited to get to the action ahead. Again, it's Piccolo. Is about to go Namekian Android Androido against number 17. This is so cool. Piccolo takes the turban off.
Yeah, I wrote in my notes, Piccolo does the thing.
he saw Nick Cannon. He's like, ew, this is a bad look. I gotta stop.
Thank
Take
God
off
I
the
don't have a
turban.
Nick Cannon impression, so he can't talk to Piccolo.
Yeah. As it should be.
No, you gotta bang the drum.
Is that it? I don't know.
I don't know. Let's keep moving.
Okay, I was gonna say my only memory of Drumline is seeing 30 minutes of it in a bar while we were waiting to do our panel at a convention in the middle of Pennsylvania.
Oh, that's right. I was probably mouthing along to every word.
You're just angry the whole time.
Like, it's just because of what he's become. That movie was supposed to be like, all right, Nick Cannon, he can't be stopped. That was at the height of his powers, was Drumline.
In some regard, paternally, he can't be stopped. We know this.
Nothing stops those swimmers. And Aaron, that's Cannon.
Wait, is he?
Not Nick Cannon. It's sperm.
Look, when we said the monster's coming, the monster was Nick Cannon.
Oh, damn you, Nick Cannon. Just stop having children. We could stop talking about this. Please.
Piccolo's turban breaks a rock once it drops on the
Yeah.
ground. It rules. Like, okay, cool. Classic weighted clothing. Love it. And then 17 has some fun lines in mine. He goes, "It taxes my comprehension why you would fight a battle you couldn't win.
Ooh.
And if you're going to bring it, bring it."
What? Oh my God.
Mhm,
17
mhm.
snapped on Piccolo.
I know.
I only got one line that equates to the first one that you said. It doesn't matter what you do. You can't win. One of those kind of things.
Mhm.
Didn't even acknowledge the weighted clothing. Again, these are two cool dudes about to fight. In case you didn't know.
They are the most cool.
And
Like 16 is a dork. What do we say?
oh, he's an absolute dork. I mean, 18 is cool. 18's a
Mhm.
cool gal. She's the classic, like, I'm so chill, nothing bothers me. I just want to do my job and get out of here. Whereas 17 is just like, I just want to have a little fun. I don't know why
Yeah.
that's so, wrong.
What does compute is a little treat. Some iced cream, perhaps.
Ooh, that sounds delicious.
Mhm.
What power level is this ice cream?
I want to go to a Cold Stone Creamery, and I will get the love it because they like it is too small, and they gotta have it is too big.
Rocky Road is Goku's favorite flavor.
What do I care about Goku's favorite flavor?
He is your enemy. You should know what he likes.
What's his? Okay, 16. I have to ask because it's fun. What is Goku's Sheets order? You know, that regional chain of gas station fast casual.
No need. I understand. Fast
Okay.
casual, in and out style,
Mhm. Made
gas
to
station
order.
fare, made to order, of course. Goku gets a burger, a Sheets burger with mozzarella sticks on top.
Oh, you're saying he's a fool who should just buy them separately and make it himself.
Affirmative. Goku is a bit of a fool. He also buys individual packs of the different fries, regular, sweet potato, and curly, when he could just buy the mix.
There's an app sampler right there. Are we gonna fight? Are we gonna?
The last
you
thing
done
on
ordering?
Goku's list, a Shitza.
Which they kind of brought back recently. They have flatbread pizza.
A flatbread
Which
Shitza
is-
for Goku.
Let me just say, as Android 17, when I was still human, I remember them where you could buy a whole pizza for $5.
Does not compute. Does not compute. How could a deal like that exist?
Little Caesars is the only one keeping that dream alive.
Not a Target. Little Caesars does not compute.
You're right. They're no longer in Targets. The little Pizza Huts.
Speaking of Targets, have you seen Goku?
And
Seed.
I am genuinely upset about the loss of certain food items at certain restaurants.
It's a tough thing to continue to deal with. I thought at a point, like, I'd be like, oh, all these, like, once in a lifetime menu options, they just have to keep people interested. Like Popeyes, now they got wings at Popeyes. You guys hear these wings at Popeyes? They're not great. I had them over the weekend. Middling. But I don't think it should be taken off the menu because somebody's gonna like it. That's what I'm getting at. The McRib can be yearly. Who cares?
Is it that difficult to make?
Mm-mm.
Does it cause that much of a stink?
Or, you know what, McDonald's, if it's that hard to maintain, maybe, bump up those wages on the workers, make it worth their while. You could spend billions of dollars on new facades for every McDonald's around the nation and around the world, but why not expand that kitchen while you're at it, baby?
McDonald's, you can't trick me into thinking that you're some sort of nice restaurant. Your mascot is still a clown. Act like it.
Yeah, you tried to fool us by putting Grimace front and center on that Macy's Thanksgiving Day float. We know who the real puppet master is.
Who watches the Grimace? It's Ronald McDonald.
And that false flag operation you got with a Hamburglar going on. We see through you.
Look, we saw the footage from the grassy knoll. Hamburglar's a patsy for a patty.
And we know those fry guys are deep in your pockets. They're deep in that sleeve.
The Oompa Loompas of the McDonald's world, the fry guys.
Yeah, the fry guys and the nuggets.
Nuggets used to talk.
They used to talk. They used to talk to us before we swallowed them whole.
Then they became boot-shaped and lost their sentience. I just ate. I don't know why I'm on this food kick.
Oh,
let's get to Piccolo.
Yeah, we gotta get to the kicks and punches. But Piccolo does do some light strategy work at the top of this fight. Oh, how do I take 17 down without the other two jumping in? The plan is take down 17, then 18, so Cell has nothing to absorb. That's it.
So they don't agree that like...
Oh, no, they agree. They do agree.
Okay.
That nobody else is going to jump in.
Yeah, same line of thinking in mind of just like, if I defeat one of them, then Cell can't become perfect. And then...
He's got the Kame vision. He's thinking long game, you know? But yeah, go for it.
I guess he no longer, his will to fight, his fighting spirit of like, who's a strong opponent? I just want to be strong. I want to be stronger than Goku. I want to beat Goku. I mean, I guess he fulfilled that already, right? He did kill Goku.
I mean, he did kill Goku, and I think right now, like in this episode, in this moment of time, I believe Piccolo is like on par with Goku at present in terms of power.
If not stronger, since Goku's like, I'm not going to fight those androids. Yeah. Fuck, I can't do it.
It's like, we'll lose again. So I think, yeah, you're right. Piccolo is likely stronger than Goku at this point. Piccolo's the strongest of the Z fighters right now.
Oh, I've just been filled with like so much joy and relief of like, all right, there was and is a period of time where Piccolo's the strongest.
Feels really good, doesn't it?
Of the bull. I mean, I guess compared to like Cell or something, but like
no, of the good guys, you know. And I think if part of the reason why Cell doesn't just like kill everybody is because Piccolo's strong enough, I think, to go toe to toe with him, but probably not strong enough to fully defeat him. And yeah, if Piccolo, Tien, and Krillin jump him, then you know Cell can't manage that right now. So yeah, Piccolo it's nice that Piccolo's strong. It really is.
I love a strong Piccolo.
We love a strong Green King.
Half of this episode is just Piccolo powering up. And kind of everyone is 16 and 18, don't care. No, they're like, whatever.
Nonplussed.
They're no selling. The boys back on the island, they feel it. They're like, oh, we can't believe this key coming from Piccolo. And Krillin is Krillin's getting a little smarter as we go along. He's like, no, this isn't, he can raise it much more than this. This is just the beginning.
Oh yeah. Krillin's quick to let them know. He's like, it's not just Piccolo. He's not alone. He's got Kame in there with him. We get a quick cut to the lookout where Gohan's like, hey, that's Piccolo. I gotta help him. He's fighting the androids, I bet. And Goku's like, no, son, can't do it. You'll only distract our boy. He's got to focus on this fight. And then he looks hurried at the clock. He's like, come on, Vegeta, hurry up. Get stronger and ascend.
You've got to go beyond.
Gotta go.
Because they should be stepping out any moment now. It is the next day.
Right. Per the clock, it seemed like there was just minutes left to the 1 year that they had to train in.
Who knows?
But 16 knows. He knows a little bit because we cut back to the fight. 16's like, I sense two powers in Piccolo. He's not alone. And I don't know, like, I didn't think that 16 could sense the key of God.
He's maybe 16 is a mystery. I don't think I ever liked Android 16 when I first watched this. Because for a lot of it, he is like background character.
Yeah, he's almost like an exposition or like quest giver for 17 and 18.
He's
like
an
in an
NPC.
RPG. Yeah, he's big. He was the first NPC.
Ice cream, so good. Yum. Thank you.
Where's Goku? Where's Goku?
Welcome to New York. New place unlocked.
Oh man. But dude, this fight is so good. And it starts off with Piccolo glowing white with his newfound power. I wrote in my notes, Piccolo begins his assault on Precinct 17.
Ooh, that's real good.
I'm very happy with that.
Damn.
Like the fight is so impressive that 18 even sits up and is like, oh, look at that. He's pretty good. The flurry of attacks from Piccolo ends with 17 hitting the dirt face first. And in mine, 17 admits defeat.
What?
In that moment, 17 gets up. He's like, oh, I can't believe it. You actually defeated me. I was like, wait.
Oh.
I didn't think this would be over that quick.
My 17 is just like, it's impossible for me to be, and that's kind of it. Just like, how can this be?
A little like if it was Frieza, it'd be like, this isn't possible. But 17, he's too cool. He's too cool. As 17 stands up, Piccolo does say, he's like, stay down. Charges up a massive ki blast, exploding it at 17, who narrowly dodges it. Floating in the air. For the first time, we're seeing an android take significant damage. 17 is bleeding. How is that possible, Aaron? He's an android.
He's partly human.
Bioorganic.
Yeah. That's red oil.
And then I don't know if Piccolo has any witty lines in yours, but as 17 hovers in the air, Piccolo shouts up to him, "What's wrong? Need your batteries changed?"
Piccolo's very silent throughout a lot of this because up in the air, 17 is just saying, "Get cocky with me, eh?" And then we cut to Piccolo just smiling. And that's it. He doesn't say anything else. Because of course Piccolo heard him. He's got we know he has super hearing.
Got that super hearing. Can't do anything to, I don't know, listen to where Cell is running to. Just a slight criticism on our Green King. But
yeah, you open those ears up. Here, cell has to sound gross, right? A giant bug.
Yeah, a giant techno-organic bug. At least from what we observe, like sells like mechanical sounding footsteps, kind of deal.
Chitinous armor rubbing against each other.
That's it. That's the thing that you think would work.
He needs to sound like a cricket when he walks.
Okay, since we're on the subject of a cricket, I don't know if this is technically insect cruelty, but it was a video that showed up on my Instagram.
Okay.
Some dude be like, y'all got crickets in your house. This is how you silence them. And he just puts a drop of WD-40 on the cricket. And it mutes the cricket.
Okay.
No friction, no noise. So maybe Cell found some WD-40. I know. They'll never find me if I silence myself.
Well, I mean, we have plenty of, if you have squeaky doors, I mean, you came to the right place, Mr. Giant Green Bug Man, to this hardware store.
Ah, yes, the Home Depot.
Yeah. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, just listen to the theme song.
I want to hear the theme song.
Bum, 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 bum. Sorry, I'm just... The Podcast Minds theme song is so similar to it. That's what I'm thinking of.
It's legally distinct.
No, it's Vanilla Ice rules. Bum 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 ba bump up. It's different.
It's a slight key change on the 6th note.
But yeah, there's our WD-40 and other lubricants are in aisle 18.
Great. Is there Vaseline there too?
I think so. Why? Are you chapped?
I've been running a lot.
You got a marathon to prep for?
Something like that.
Okay. That sounded ominous.
Let's just say I'll be running through the rest of your town soon enough.
Oh no. Oh, that's why I see none of my coworkers and just a bunch of orange vests.
Thank you. You've been very helpful.
Can you, please, there's a survey on the receipt. If you could please fill it out, you could win $200 in Depot bucks.
$200 Depot dollars?
That's a better name. I'm going to put that in the suggestion box. It should be Depot dollars.
You know what? Because you've been so helpful, I'll spare you.
Oh, thank you. I think I'm technically manager now.
Psych! Stab!
Oh,
it tasted like Chipotle.
It's right next door.
And
Scene.
Why is that not a partnership that we have here in the States? Why is there not a Chipotle in every Home Depot? Just leaving money on the table.
Because whatever food stand is outside of a mega hardware store, they got the monopoly on it.
That's right.
I don't know if that's a phenomenon that's common everywhere, but the cheesesteaks outside of Lowe's, pretty good. Not too shabby.
You're making a very good point, because outside of my local Home Depot back home, there was a hot dog cart that probably made gangbusters.
Oh, sure. Yeah, just like I'm like, is it just people get hungry? Or is it like contractors like, oh, we need lunch?
I think it could be contractors that need lunch. But like walking through the halls of a Home Depot, you're going to get hungry the same way you walk through the halls of a Costco. That's why they got those samples, so they can keep you hydrated and fed. So you don't pass out in the section with the toilet seats that's like 6 stories tall.
Those toilet seats are too high. That's a hazard.
Not for this king. Not for this tall king.
I mean, speaking of kings, we got to go to the king of commerce, the commercial.
Nice.
Hey, Riley,
Yeah, Andrew.
do you want to make a podcast ad?
I do, but what would we mention?
So I think that we could probably put together an ad for a show called The Podcast Minds. There, but for the grace of pod, go we. You know, it's a podcast where we both pitch each other podcast ideas instead of doing one ourselves.
Yeah, it's a podcast pilot pitching project. Totally. It's we should mention that it's a comedy show, right? Where we throw out ideas like getting weirdly deep into the themes of Jumanji.
Is that one a podcast?
No. It's a podcast idea that is actually a front for me to talk to you about hyperfixations I got.
Oh, that's most of the things that you hit me with. What about instead if we just talked about all the different ways you could do a rewatch of Lost?
Oh, that sounds like you just did what I did, but you said it in a positive voice.
Okay, and along the way, what if we pitched ideas like, I don't know, Epic Rap Battles of Mystery, the Lin-Manuel Miranda podcast?
Listen to the podcast minds. There, but for the grace of pod, go we on your podcatcher of choice on the Moonshot Network. Hi ho!
Hi ho! Every Friday.
Okay, everyone be quiet for this part of the podcast. Shh, 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 shh. Professor Briefs just put Trunks down in like a weird dragon rocker.
Yeah. I kind of want to get that for my future child or a child that a friend has. I know I said that weird, but like, you know what I mean?
I mean, I have friends who just they got children laying around.
She's got a couple of spares.
Yeah, you're talking about children, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I've got just one hanging out in my closet.
You need
I haven't used it in years.
Need an extra middle child? I've got two.
We got them because we had family over once, and we just haven't used them since.
Like we ordered one, but we got twins, so we got an extra.
Twins are the misordered Amazon of the child world.
Man, then you gotta go through the. I don't want to continue down this road. On
You
how to
just have
return
to
a
make
child.
sure you weren't charged extra.
Keep that QR code for a return.
Mm-hmm. But Professor Breeze is taking care of Trunks because Bulma is busy at work on a shutdown device for the androids. And she's doing like some weird techno babble about it.
Something about frequencies and whether or not this controller will work is based on whether she can match that frequency or not. But if she's right about this, you should be able to shut down the androids with this controller. But of course, it's not that simple. And Bulma gets frustrated, and our girl slams her hands down on the keyboard in frustration. I just can't figure this out. And it wakes baby Trunks up. She then says, I wish I could cry right now. With just a nice little button on that scene.
Yes. Pretty similar to my ending. She just, stares at camera. I want to cry too.
Mm-hmm. And then we get a really cool transition because we get to see Bulma's screen. She's looking at wireframes of the androids, and that wireframe dissolves into Android 17, who flicks his earring before getting back into the fight.
If I can say it's a jerk line. But before he gets back into the fight, he says, brace yourself, you oversized scumbag.
So I did not get a scumbag line. I forget exactly what 17 says as he gets back into the fight.
Bozo?
Something along
Slimo.
the lines of like, I'm just getting started.
Ooh.
But the earring flick like really set me off. I was like, that's a cool guy move. But also I don't know if that's like him like flicking the switch going up a power level or something. Like I didn't know if that had any significance.
Hold on, let me tune myself real quick.
See,
A little flat.
I don't know. It could be, could not be. But yeah, again, this is a call to some researchers. If you want to tell us the significance of 17's little earring, is that just a product of the late 90s, i.e., the Jordan style mini hoop? Let us know by writing into kamehousepartypod@gmail.com. Hashtag that research, baby.
Was Jordan around in the, or was that, no, he was very early 90s.
Oh, I mean,
Early to mid.
Jordan played into the late 2000s, I believe. In his 38th, in the year that he turned 38, he was averaging about 25 points as a Washington Wizard.
Dang.
Which is impressive because LeBron James is currently 38 and just hit the NBA all-time scoring record with 39,000 points.
Whoa!
Is currently averaging 25 points a game, but I think on way more minutes than Jordan. It's insane. The NBA is so interesting because they've got some 7-footers like Piccolo in there. See, I brought it back.
Mm-hmm.
I brought it back.
Piccolo, yeah. Piccolo is he's taken all 7 feet of himself for this fight. He's throwing a bunch of blasts. Android 17 does the classic X block and just absorbs it. The boys on the island are like, we don't know what's going on because we can't sense the android's keys. So we just sense Piccolo.
I didn't like TN's. I mean, TN is usually the pessimist of the group, or the skeptic. We say this almost every week now that TN's so involved, but dude's got to trust that third eye. But yeah, everybody else apart from TN is like very much saying like, "Oh no, Piccolo's got this." 18 wants to step in and finish the job. She's like, 17, finish this thing already so we can go do our mission. 17, again, his old adage, oh, I'm just trying to have a little fun. Then Piccolo fires a barrage of Masenkos.
This is...
Yeah.
But, well, before this, I think both Piccolo and 17... basically reveal their hand like, yeah, we're messing with each other. We're not at full power yet.
Of course. Yes.
And that is when Piccolo's throwing a bunch of energy balls. None of them hit 17. And at one point, they're just not even aiming for 17. 17's like, what's going on? What is all this?
Yeah, he says, you're not even trying to hit me.
Stop trying to hit me and hit me. Do you think that's air you're breathing, Piccolo?
But then, and I want to know, what did Piccolo name this technique in yours? Because
that's what I was really waiting on.
So you didn't get a name for it either. Like I didn't get a proper name for it because what ends up happening is all those energy balls that Piccolo is flying in the air, they don't dissipate. Instead, they surround 17, and Piccolo calls this in mind my guided scatter shot.
Guided scatter shot.
Which isn't what they call it in Dragon Ball Fighters or any other media that talks about this attack. And I can't remember for the life of me what it's called, but I thought it was like the demon dispersal bomb or something like that. Or yeah.
I'm assuming, since it splits the heavens, I'm assuming this is the Gekiretsu Kodan.
I hope so.
That was told of in legend.
Yeah.
That was prophesied.
And it makes sense because of the resulting like there are certain classifications of energy attack that are so strong they wash out all color in the world. And this culminating basically collapsing of a white star of energy onto 17 does that for Piccolo's attack. And yes, it does, I guess, split the heavens in that way. It's really, I think it's really cool. And Yeah, damn. Blinds those Kame House boys all the way on Roshi's Island. Like, what's
Mhm.
happening? We don't know. It's so bright. But this Android 17, he's got more tricks up his sleeve. So when
This motherfucker.
the dust clears, bro's got what? That's right. Aaron's doing the sound effects. He's got a goddamn force field.
No.
Mm-mm.
I'm genuinely mad at this.
Yeah, it's like, can't Piccolo have one win?
That and it's like you can't have who has a force field? When are there force field? I know I'm just paraphrasing Austin Powers, but really, who has a force field, baby?
Take it easy, Austin. It's me, Foxy Cleopatra.
But there's he's not supposed to have that. He's just supposed to be a tough guy.
Easy, sugar. Sometimes things don't happen the way you expect. You got to just improvise like this. She just starts doing the robot.
You're just doing your singles ladies dance, baby. That's choreographed.
It's like choreography, Austin. If you must know. See this? This wave was not in the steps.
Fuck you, 17. I'm so mad at this.
And, the resulting explosion that Piccolo created disintegrated the island that they were all on. Just to make sure you know how strong Piccolo is right now. He hasn't even been at full power, and he's shaking the earth, splitting the heavens, destroying continents. 17's like, all right, let's continue this fight on this other island. And that's where they go.
They go to a different island. More volcanic than the last. You gotta please wear shoes. You will cut your feet. There's in Idaho, when I was there, they have Craters of the Moon National Park, I believe is what it's called. And it's completely surrounded in lava rock.
Whoa.
And like I cut a shoe. Like the sole of my shoe was cut because of walking.
Oh, wow.
This. And then fun fact, Apollo astronauts did training there.
That's awesome. And this is in Idaho?
This is in Idaho for moon preparation.
Dang.
They're
I thought
like,
they did all that
yeah,
moon
that's
preparation
fine.
in like Arizona and stuff. But that's really cool. I didn't know that there was volcanic activity in Idaho.
The Teton by the Tetons.
Wait, are we getting close to Mount St. Helens?
That's Washington.
That's Washington. Okay. Look, I only know a few of my terrestrial volcanoes. my national pride in our American volcanoes.
That only exploded once.
But the big one's coming.
The big one. Speaking of big ones, and coming, Excel. We cut back to him real quick. He's busy just sucking up people until he's sensing Key now. He's like,
new Key, who this?
Wait a minute, it's Piccolo. And Kame, never forget.
Delicious.
The sweet and savory mix of a Piccolo and Kame together, like a salted caramel from Tokyo Treat.
Oh, yes, of course. Tokyo Treat, my favorite snack when I'm not snacking on human beings.
That's the one thing I'll put into my face instead of through my tail, because I want to savor the flavor.
Dr. Giraud gave me taste buds for a reason.
But what I'm saying is that Piccolo sure is using a lot of ki. He must be fighting someone, which means he's near the androids, which means I know where the androids are, and I can become perfect.
And yeah, Cell can't resist the idea of becoming perfect Look, I'm reminder to the listeners. Perfection is the enemy of good. Okay, you don't need to be perfect like Cell. He's setting unrealistic expectations for the common man.
What's fun about my professional career is having a boss for several years who flipped it and reversed it and said perfection or good is the enemy of perfection.
I feel like people in positions of power could spin it whatever way they need to.
They do whatever they like. So anyway, here's several more hours of work.
So all that is to say, more work for you. But you know who gets spared from doing any more work? That office worker that was in that building with Cell,
He's the boss now.
Who audibly spares him. In mine, he goes, "I'm going to spare your life. Feel lucky," because he's thirsty for them androids.
I'm done with the appetizers. Enough amoosh boosh for this guy.
This human sampler platter is a mile wide and an inch deep. I want some 17 flavors and 18 herbs and spices.
16, nothing for 16.
Ugh, bland. It's the turkey of the android world.
Dry. Makes me sleepy when I listen to it.
All he ever wants to do is talk about Goku. Boring.
Some overly complex somehow. Somehow a big to-do.
It's almost like this whole fabricated holiday might as well just disappear. Let's just eat pie instead.
It's just, we all just want, that's all we're waiting for. The pie course.
Look, Cell's speaking truth to power, all right? Let's just call it something else. Let's just call it American Meal Day, and everybody gets to eat. How about that, Joe?
Anyway, that's been my time. I'm Cell. You've been a great audience. And then he sucks him up.
Remember to tip the tip of my tail. Yeah, Cell kills at the Comedy Center.
Yeah. And the guy doing rim shots. He's got, don't forget.
I'll spare you for that perfect rim shot. But while Cell charges headlong to the island where Piccolo and 17 and the other androids have landed to resume their fight, in mine we get the narrator kind of voicing over everything that you're thinking. Will Vegeta and Trunks get out of the time chamber in time to stop Cell from absorbing androids 17 and 18? Can Piccolo hold his own against this android? But he has one line that I wrote down. Piccolo put up a good fight against Android 17, but even with the power of Kame surging through him, he couldn't recycle that renegade robot.
Ooh.
Alliteration gets me every time. I want renegade robots everywhere.
He couldn't reduce or reuse.
Oh, hold on. Like the state of New York, Piccolo was unable to separate recycling. Thanks, Eric Adams.
Looks like 17 is a weird type of plastic.
Uh-oh, someone forgot to take the cap off of that 17-liter bottle.
This 17-inch pizza box can't be recycled because it contained food.
Piccolo was only able to leave a bit of oil on the surface of that 17-inch cardboard slab. It's no longer recyclable.
But the little table that comes inside so your cheese doesn't stick to the roof is.
Will Tien ever get that stick up his ass out? Tune in next time for another exciting episode of Dragon Ball Z.
But that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
we're in a perilous point. A lot of who knows what the order of events are going to be. When Cell arrives, when Vegeta and Trunks get done with their training and come out. I'm waiting on long-haired Trunks. Hunky long-haired Trunks.
Extra long-haired Trunks. He's got enough flow for a ponytail and then some. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait for our newly confident Vegeta to show up on the scene. It's like, you're fighting me now.
And then him to fuck it all up.
But I do respect that Toriyama is like, no, we don't need to see Trunks and Vegeta training. We just don't need to see it. You all know that dynamic. We'll get that in a flashback later on. Because, yeah, look, if you didn't know, Dragon Ball Z rips. And it's ripping really hard right now through the Cell Saga. We can't wait to talk about another episode next week. So thanks for listening to this week's episode. Thank you for supporting our Patreon. If you support the Patreon and supporting the podcast by listening, we really appreciate it. And a reminder that, like, sharing, subscribing, leaving a comment on our socials, that helps other people find the show. Hit that share button on Insta. And don't forget, we are sponsored by Tokyo Treat. So go to tokyotreat.com and use promo code Kame at checkout to get $5 off. There's also a link that you can click that is in the show notes. So check that out. Send it to a friend. It's that time of year. Give the gift that keeps on giving, and that is delicious snacks. I really want more Japanese snacks. I gotta wait a little bit for the third box to show up, but
please order Tokyo Treat so we can keep getting Tokyo Treat.
It's dude. He said the quiet part out loud, listeners.
We know why play games? We've been with you too long, audience.
And Aaron, you spoke of games this week on our twitch.tv/Kame House Party. Kame House Party is going to the Game Awards, folks.
Yep, we've got an official invite, i.e. a link to YouTube.
That's right. Jeff Keighley sent us that link personally. So tune in Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern while we talk over the Game Awards with some special guests.
Some special guests.
And that's all I'm going to say. So you got to tune in to find out who's going to show up. But we'll be talking over the Game Awards. There's going to be a bingo card so you can watch along and cringe along with us at Jeff Keighley doing the most expensive PowerPoint presentation for ads ever. We are also part of the Moonshot Network, so check out moonshotpods.com. They're also over there on Twitch. They do great work over there at Moonshot Network, twitch.tv/Moonshot Network. Don't forget, Aaron's other podcast, Thinking Too Hard About Anime. Himself and the great Noah Carden are the and I'll say this tagline until it gets inked into paper, the easiest listening anime podcast on the market right now. So check it out, because if you don't, you're missing out. And yeah. Anything else we got to plug?
No, let's plug up this episode and get out of here.
You got it, boss. So what? I'm sorry.
I'm so excited for whatever you're about to say next.
I hope it lives up to this pre-laugh, because whether you're changing the batteries on your favorite Android or you're plugging up Home Depot staff with your own tail, you gotta keep
fighting.
God. Splitting the heavens is my thing.
Yummy House Party!